right, today we're gonna make a starter. And I say make a starter. Make a mechanism to allow me to start it. Because I, in fact, will be the starter. So if you see this here, this is a kickstart, right? And there's just no way you can kickstart this. You can't get a full throw or anything. And it's all up in here. I knew that when I put the motor in, so that's not a surprise. But I was thinking I might be able to make some sort of contraption with using a gear or something, but looking at the two, that nah, ain't happening. So I'm gonna make some sort of contraption with a gear that's different than the first one I thought I might be able to do easily. So here's my goal. I'm gonna take this. I have this 12, I believe, tooth. Yep, this 12 tooth gear. Let's get this oil off of it. Whew. Oh, it's quiet, Beanie. It was me. He's like, okay. And I'm gonna affix this onto there using some means of turning metal into liquid, but trying not to make it so it can't clamp anymore. So I'm not gonna be able to do like a full weld, I don't think. And then maybe I can do a little more when I get it on there. I don't know. This is gonna be a trick. We'll see. And that way I can put this still on the starter, right? So that way it'll be like, it'll probably be in like this area then. And then I'll put a chain on it that feeds up to there. This is where some more stuff comes in. I don't know where I put it. There it is. Oh yeah. 1/2 inch rod will go through. It's got some crap on it, so it can't at the moment. It'll go through there. In the center of that, I will place this, which I realized I was thinking an idler bearing. That's perfect, but then no, it isn't. I need it to be fixed. But it's 17 tooth. I do have one of these, but I don't want to weld one on. It's bigger tooth. So, but this one's 17 tooth. So you can see how it's so much bigger. So less rotation will get me more. That's that. And that'll be suspended in there. I'll probably try and pick this seal out of here, clean it up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'll be able to weld her up solid. Super solid. It is time for me to try and weld it up. So I was able to weld that, and I was able to weld it quite easily. As you see, I welded the bearing to the gear, and then I welded where each ball was. I welded the ball across, and then I put filler. It looks kind of cool. It looks like a little Krager wheel. Yeah! So I did that on both sides. Now it's cooling because it's extremely hot. Time to move on. Alright, so for this, I want to see if it hangs over the edge with the screw installed. I believe it does. Yep, there we go. So it hangs over the edge a little bit, so that'll do great. That was pretty centered. Alright, so I welded on the inside that edge, and then I also welded around half of it. So I'd imagine this is going to have a good bit of pressure on it. I don't know how much, but I hope that that's enough weld. I did beef it on there. I did a couple passes on the inside here, so it's probably at least a 1/4 inch solid bead around that edge. But hopefully, one, I didn't pre-clamp too much so it can still clamp and go on and off. And two, hopefully I welded enough that it doesn't come off and break loose. So like I said, I welded those balls solid, the balls to the race and to the inner race, welded the outer race to the gear. You can see on both sides I did that as well. So even though it looks like just a little tack across there, those balls are welded solid underneath. And then I did a couple more passes across the top to get this spoke look kinda. But I know I'm gonna want it to be able to at least do that. So that's where it's gonna get welded. Let's do that now. All right, so now I got that gear welded onto there. All right, so these are both cooled. Well, that is affixed. So providing this gear doesn't break off, I think we're onto something. So I want to build this whole thing so it can be disassembled if it has to. There you can see how much extra room I'm going to need with shims. Ooh. So let's see, end to end. Probably cut it there. Then we'll need to cut out some relief here. Now that and chain should clear. Alright, so if you look at this, I found these M8 bolts that I have that aren't big enough to fit through. But if they're here, that'll give me some room. And if you look, they'll go right through. But their washer might have something to grab. So I'm gonna weld those right there. Got the first two studs welded on there. Now I want to work on the next thing. Which the next thing I'm gonna need a way to weld it to that. I don't want to just use flat plate. I want to connect fairly completely. So let's see what I can do. Now let's check on this other plate. All right, now I'm gonna weld those three on. All right, so now I've got four welded on here. Let's make sure we clean them up just in case, even though they look like brand new. Much better. However, like I said, that's not gonna do me much good, is it? I just want them to be flat and not sharp. So there we go. Yeah, those washers work. So just like that's in line with the tube, this should pretty much be in line with the tube, right? And that one's gonna go there. And that needs to go there. And now I'm gonna weld these outsides, take this off, weld the insides, then I can bolt that up, put a chain on it, and then weld it. All right, we got this welded up. Now it's super hot, let's let it cool. Now next, I'm gonna need for my handle. So I've decided that I'm gonna use this 1/2 inch for the handle, but I've also decided that I'm gonna use this for a joint. So let's make this a joint now. All right, now that I got that like that, let's weld this handle in here. Just like that. All right, I got it welded. Still pretty hot, but I'm gonna get Cindy involved here. Boom, that's pretty good looking, huh? Now, I hope this is enough and it doesn't split. I don't know how much force it's actually gonna take. Oh yeah, that's super cool. Look at that. I told you it'd be cool. Look at that. So I did a nice little weave here just to use original steel, take that corner down. And then I walked around and then I put a nice little bead of fillet in here and all the way around. Same on this side. Ooh yeah. All right, so let's put this on there in such a manner that it needs to be. This part's not gonna be too fun, but the main thing is I wanna make sure that this lines up. So to make sure this lines up when I weld it is gonna be to put a chain on it. All right, I'll finish this up. All right, well, it seems that you cannot be rid of this shit. I soaked it in acetone, that did nothing. I used Dawn, I figured that's a degreaser. That did nothing. I used, what did the most was, oh, what's it called? Mineral spirits. That cleaned it the most, but really only could get where I could scrub. So it's still loaded inside and it turned into like white, chunky stuff. So, I don't know, but it's much better to handle. Let's see if we can't destroy this thing once and for all. Let's try this one. I guess I should have checked that to start with. It's got to be the wrong pitch gear. All right, let's do another one of these, but with this instead. And since this is my handle now, I'll use this end. All right, now I gotta weld that. Just like that. All right, so I'm guessing this is an oil impregnated gear. I guess there's actually must be such a thing. The first side was horrible. I had to grind it and redo it, and it was still horrible. It kept sweating oil out of it. So I kept wiping it down. I had another rag too, but I don't know what the fuck I did with it, but it kept sweating out. By the time I got this first one kind of ratty done, then I switched to the other side. The other side went much better. Must have sucked it all out over here. It still kept catching fire and stuff, but it's welded on there. So it probably wouldn't do if it were like something, I guess, that really mattered, but since it's just going to be for this pull starter, seems like it'll do. Alright, so now the last thing I want to do is get this handle ready to go. I've decided I'm going to weld it pretty much for ease, but also I think because I don't know if it'll be strong enough to just hold itself. So let's go right about here, I guess. It should clear the hood thing. How the heck is that a thing? Ah. Huh. Alright. Alright, now time to weld it. You know what I didn't take into account? Oh well, I can rotate it down there with the gears. So I'll rotate it back a little bit with whenever I do those gears. But now, look at that, it links. So I haven't ever started one of these before, but feels like right there I might hit compression. Right there it feels harder, but I'm not sure. Yep, and right there, so it feels like right there I need to bang it. So I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, never done one before. I could pretty much put all the way back to here. So, I think that's it. I'll just need to figure out exactly where to start it and stuff. But I think we got a starter. Might need to like strap it down or something too. Cool. I think it'll be startable with that. Looks kind of goofy. And I'll probably have to rotate it a tooth up. Feels like right there is where I hit some hard stuffs. So I think right there is where I'd wham! And I could be on the gas too. So That's that. That's it for today. I think I have a starter, but I'm not sure. We'll find out when I try to start it.